So you got yourself a new power steering pulley and you want to put it on, and I'll also show you, in case you have an old power steering, how to remove it.
So let's quickly show you how to remove it just in case you already have a pulley. See this right here? These are little pins. This is a medium-sized one. I've already sunk a small one in there. Just sink it right into the threads. Once you've done that, grab your jack stud and the jack nut, put it right here. Next thing you're going to want to do, see this chamfered edge? This goes towards your wrench. Lock that in there. Put this here. Again, chamfered edge towards yourself. And just pull it forward so that way this sits nice and close. After that, slide the guide on. Now that the guide's on, you'll slowly tighten this up with your fingers. And you'll notice it'll bite. And again, you're pushing the pin in. There you go. Now that that's in there, the next thing that you're going to need to do, 13 mil and this guy, and start turning, and boom. Obviously not that easy. Pull up the pin. Let's get ready for install. As you can see, what we've done is we've put in one of the threaded studs. This would be the smallest one if you tied it in. I went with the medium because I figured, heck, that would be a little bit better. And then I tightened this bad boy up so it's nice and tight in there on top of here. This is like an 11 mil, so I held it with an 11, and then I tightened this 13 so it's nice and tight in there. Next, make sure you slide this on, lip out. Also, this is brand new, make sure you shoot some silicone spray on here. Makes everything glide a little bit better and saves your threads. From there, so as you can see, this onto here. Spacer, beveled edge towards here. There, that's all sandwiched up. Now what we want to do is just get this as smooth as we possibly can. Ooh, that's good right there. I do not think I could get that. Let's see. No, that's way out now. I like to try and align my pulley. It makes it easier to go on. Oh, that's really bad. If you try to align your pulley before you actually put tension on it, usually it'll go on a little bit smoother. The other thing you can do if you want to is use some silicone lubricant on it. Some people would advise against it, but it's completely up to you. That's it right there. Okay, so from here you need a 13 and just start it out. So much better. Holy smokes. Now if you want, like I said, you can monitor it. You just want to try and keep that pulley going on straight. Once you crank it down and it caps out, what I ended up doing is taking a box wrench, putting the box wrench behind it, and then tightening this up, and it sank it in the rest of the way. Good way to tell, take a big level and put them against the pulleys. They should lie flat against both edges of pulleys. And if I do this, you can see it does. Actually, if I flip it around, it's got like a sandy style edge. And you can hear it rubbing against both pulleys on both sides. So it's definitely at the right area it needs to be. Now, another thing for you. When we back this off, that little 11 mil, what I ended up doing, I had to take this and I jammed this underneath here and tightened up that little 11 mil, and I cranked it. So I know I'm gonna have to do the same when I release it. Again,
First, before doing that, make sure you get that pulley on there and started. You shouldn't need it. That if you're having to already have it that tight before you start cinching it on, then your pulley's not probably sitting balanced enough. So once you get that pulley, like I said, nice and with as little wobble as you can, like as little, you don't really want any, but if you have a teeny bit, well, I mean, technically you don't want any, but anyways, once you get that started and you crank it down, if it starts trying to spin and you're like, why does it keep back turning? That's why, that little 8 mil. So like I said, you need to get that thing cranked more than you do this big nut. And then once you do, and you get to a certain point, it will try to spin again. Add that spacer of a box wrench and then bring it in the rest of the way. After you've done that, and you've brought that in the rest of the way, release it, take it out, and that's it for the power steering pulley. So when you go to put that little one in and take it out, 11 mil socket fits perfect and allows you to crank her in there. And that's our power steering pulley all put in.